Welcome back to Good Day Philadelphia. It is 7:22. A person of interest is named in the rape of an 11-year-old girl, and the public, we've all seen the video, takes it upon themselves to bring him down.
But is this ever okay, a situation like this? Attorney Rocco Cipparone is here now to talk about the case. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, guys.
Obviously, the emotions are running very high, especially in this neighborhood after this attack on an 11-year-old girl. Talk about first the dangers of taking matters into your own hands here, not only the violent part of it, but could these guys face charges?
These emotions are very understandable, but they could face charges. It's hard to tell from the video. It's a little bit sketchy, but if it's not justifiable self-defense or defense of another, they could potentially face aggravated assault charges, or worse yet, if this guy died, potential homicide charges. So it's risky behavior.
It's understandable, but at the same time, I mean, come on. You know, this guy went after an 11-year-old, a fifth grader in their neighborhood. We all understand why they were so upset. I have to be honest, a lot of people were saying, he got what he deserves. Surely these people, especially since you can't really pinpoint a face, won't face charges here.
Well, about pinpointing a face, I saw actually this morning and last night on Fox interviews of people who
they're admitting it. A lot of people are, but then
if
you get to the nitty-gritty and you want to prove it, well, show my face then. That's
what
I'd say.
A lot of people are convicted on their own words, though, so that's a risk. It's understandable that people react that way. This was a horrific crime. It was horrific results for a kid, and as society members, that's a normal emotional response. The law doesn't always accommodate that, however, so the risk is you could be prosecuted, but there are other risks as well in this kind of behavior.
Right now, this man is a person of interest. They want to talk to him, not termed a suspect yet. If he does become a suspect, goes to court, can this beating hurt the case against him?
It probably won't hurt the case against him unless in some way, shape, or form it damaged the evidence. For example, if he had evidence on his clothing that might have gotten defiled in some way during the course of the beating or commingled with other blood or things like that, that's a possibility. But other than that, I don't see it hurting the case against him.
There was a nice little reward here for this man's arrest or for his capture. Does that play a factor in this at all? Or in this case, were people just wanting to go after him because of his brutal crime?
It seems like more of the latter. It doesn't seem like the people who were involved in this incident were aware of the award at that time. So it just seems like the human emotional response to a bad situation in which a young girl was unfortunately very seriously injured. So those emotions probably control more than the reward aspect of it, I would think.
And this is a horrible tragedy, what this little girl is going through. Do you ever see a case where maybe you say, okay, it is okay to go do this and take the legal matters in your hands?
Well, the law doesn't permit that. As society members, as human beings, we can all appreciate the responses. For example, I've heard the dad, and I can empathize with him.
Yeah.
That's something we can all identify with. So the law doesn't allow that, except in very limited circumstances, but human emotion does. I understand that, and I think the feelings are justified. The actions may not legally be justified.
Before you leave us this morning, as an attorney, I'm just kind of interested in your take. This guy, we've been reporting, has 17 priors. He was charged with attempted rape back in 2002. Obviously, you can't speculate whether he'll get out again, but you can understand, the anger, what's going on inside these courtrooms. A lot of people in the neighborhood are saying, why is he out? And I don't want him back in my neighborhood ever again.
His prior history indicates, obviously, that there's an issue with this guy and his violent behaviors. That's also a risk, though, to some of these bystanders. For example, there was a report that this guy at least threatened that he had a gun. He could have pulled the gun. The situation could have gotten much worse, and other innocent bystanders, including these people who beat him, could have been injured. So that's a risk to themselves. And why put yourself in that position and your family in the risk of that loss for a guy like this? Let the law handle it. Call law enforcement and let them handle it. Be vigilant, but don't be a vigilante.
We can't speculate, but you think obviously he'll be in jail for a while. I think a lot of people are quite frankly nervous he'll be back out on the streets.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere soon. He already has existing warrants for him that apparently were outstanding. So the court system, I think, is going to keep him in until he's charged in this matter, and then after that he'll be in for a while.
All right. Rocco Cipparone, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Good to see you.